In the midst of social distancing and business lockdowns, a freelance writer and a graphic artist bought a bus, converted it into a tiny home on wheels, and moved out of our 4-bedroom house. 1 year later, we downsized to a Chevy Express. Now we travel between Texas and Pennsylvania from April through November while exploring small towns with rich histories. In the winter, we hunker down in Texas in our schoolie and dream of our next big trip.
We're Alan and Teresa.
And we're rolling with our gnomies. Are you ready? You got the flags in it?
Yep, got you.
Alright. Well, hello! We're here in Terrell, Texas. Or as my GPS says, Terrell.
That's just wrong.
Terrell, Texas, folks, here in East Texas. And you might notice here above my head we have the American flag and we have the British flag. And there's a story behind that. Little known fact, the British attacked Terrell, Texas right after the Civil War, hence established in 1873. The British attacked Terrell, Texas and set up camp here and called it London. Wait a minute.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
That's not right. That's fiction, folks.
There's a flying school. The number one British flying school.
There was a British flying school here in Terrell, Texas. I don't know all the details about it, but I just read that in the brochure. I'm a good fiction writer, but I ain't that good. Anyway, we're in Terrell, Texas. And we're going to walk the streets here, look at the downtown historic area, learn a little bit about the town. And
there's no map.
And you're we don't have a walking tour map or anything like that, but we'll look at some of the historic sites and learn about this little town in East Texas, and we invite you to come along with us.
Alright, walk over here and tell them about this mural on this wall.
Alright, well, as you can see here...
Hold up. Go talk about this sign right here. It tells you everything you need to know.
There's on this wall.
Yep.
As you can see, it's got an airplane in it.
It's got a biplane.
Over a field of poppies.
That's cotton.
Oh, cotton. Sorry.
That's cotton, you fool.
We're not in. I'm sorry. We're not in Britain here. This is cotton. In East Texas, they grew cotton. Anyways, here's what the marker says: dedicated to the number one British Flying Training School located here in Terrell. It was established in 1941 to train British flyers who could not train in England because they might get shot down by the Nazis.
The Nazis had already blitzed England.
Well, then they didn't want to get blitzed again. They might lose the football game.
The school operated until the end of World War II in 1945. The biplane pictured would have been the first aircraft a cadet would train in during his course at the British flying training school.
Well, there you have it, folks. The British were terrible football players. That's why they got blitzed so much.
Hey! We got some British watchers. And we're not talking about blitzing in football. We're talking about the war blitz.
They blitzed them.
They did. They dropped bombs all over the place on them.
Yeah, anyway.
Now behave.
They came here to Terrell to establish a flying school so they wouldn't get shot down in their own country.
Y'all gonna have to excuse him. Somebody told him he was funny this morning, and he took it serious. Let's go look at some more pictures.
Let's go see what we got going on.
There's some over here on the main street. There's two main streets in Terrell. Moore Avenue and Broad Street. They run on either side of the railroad tracks.
And there's Francis.
Francis runs the other direction.
Right here we have a casual and western apparel and gifts store.
There's an old movie theater across the street here, the Iris. They done turned that into a bookstore.
Called Books and Crannies.
And there's another theater down here, the Lyric.
Look at the map.
Okay, what you got? Historic buildings, the Iris Theater. the Carnegie Building right here.
Yeah, sure is. Carnegie Building. Terrell Heritage Museum.
Okay.
Newspaper office. The Opera House. Movie posters, lyric theater. Oh, these are the murals.
Yeah, those are murals. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
I would say let's walk.
Where do you want to go first?
Let's walk this way, and then we'll come back and walk the other way, and we'll just take a look at the town here. Again, there's no actual walking map. We have some historical markers, but here the historical markers are fairly spread out. But you can get a good look at the historic downtown.
I love the artwork there.
There's a mural.
Lyric Theater in 1948. Mural on the front of Furman's office product store depicts the front of the old Lyric Theater located in this building during the time when there were 3 movie theaters located in downtown Terrell. In the 1920s, the 3 theaters operating in downtown were the Iris, the Palace, and the Lyric. Pictured in the mural are Woody Reeves, John Marshall, Minnie Mooser, Tommy Green, Peggy Landers, Thelma Jones,
Eunice Wickham, Art Elliott, Reba Coates, Charles Skipper Ellis, Billy Schubert, Cecil McDonald, and Carl Rose.
Those were theater staff at the time in 1948. It showed films during the era of classical Hollywood cinema, when a movie ticket cost as little as a quarter.
Awesome. Alright. Oh, look at that mural on the side of that building right there. Over there. Look.
Oh, yeah. Look on top of that building.
I see that. I'm not sure it'll show up on the camera because of the sun. Okay.
Cross over here.
Well, there's the bank building.
Pretty building, too.
Yeah, that's the First National Bank. It does say First National Bank up there. It was a guess, but almost always their First National Bank. This one looks like it's empty right now.
It does.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful building.
I love those columns.
I don't see a
marker.
corner.
You can see the architecture here.
Right.
On the buildings across the street.
You can. And this one has its original awnings.
These all look late 19th century.
This one has its original awnings. We saw those in Waxahachie. And I don't know that you can see it. You can see the pattern on there. Architecture. Yes. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
And let's see. It says I am here. No? Let's see. Where are we at here? I don't think so. That's a business that's in it, because you're nosy. Oh look, it's a historical marker.
Texas and Pacific Railroad Freight Depot. Founded in 1873.
The town of Terrell was located on the route of the Texas and Pacific Railroad. Robert A. Terrell, for whom the town was named, was a surveyor and landowner in Kaufman County.
He's also a survivor, which is why he made it here alive. Portions of the land were given to the Texas and Pacific by the Terrell family.
Judge W.D. Irvine, C.C. Nash, and John G. Moore, with the condition that a permanent depot be established within the donated land here.
The first depot was 20 by 60 feet, framed, completed June 1873, and doubled in size in 1884 to 20 by 102 feet structure
with an office, a waiting room, and a freight room.
Surrounded by a freight platform of 8,360 square feet. By 1892, a separate passenger depot was built across the street, and it's no longer here. This particular depot was constructed in 1911. Well, that's very nice.
Okay.
There's where you go in if you want to.
Yeah, that's an entrance to that business.
The business.
And you can see the bays. Well, let me take you up here, because we can see the bays. And they have retained the original bays and windows to the buildings. And what you see in front of you here is the Anderson building, and it was built around 1895. My little book says it was the North Texas Title building. And 110 East Moore. Oh, it's going to be on this side. So, let's see, this is 116, so 110 is right up here, and you can see it's the red and white building, it looks like. It's got a barber shop in it now. Yeah. And it has its original archway, and it was the R.L. Irwin building. It was built in 1893. And then it was built in 1893. It was the R.L. Irwin building. And 106 and 106 and a half, which is right here in front of us, is the Carpenter's Barber Shop, built in 1891. Now, of course, that is not what it is now, but. And then the Bryn Opera House. It was actually just the Philip Bryn building.
Grand Opera.
But they coined it the Bryn Opera House. And there is the First National Bank. And it was built in 1906. And 102, this building right here, was the American National Bank. And it's in the Bryn store. So evidently, the Bryn the Bryn building started out as a department store. And then we can go down Catherine Street here and catch the post office. Oh, and the artwork on the side of this, the mural on the side of this building.
Wild West Menagerie Museum. Interesting.
And then the whole side of this building. Alan, go up there and stand next to this mural so people can see how big it is.
Buffalo Bill appearing in person for a live show featuring 650 people, 450 horses, and multitudes of wild animals.
Right, and the mural depicts the Buffalo Bill show.
There he is right there, folks. Good old wild Buffalo Bill Cody.
That mural is about 7 feet tall. Okay, and it goes the whole length of the building.
That's a few years old. It's fading.
I think it was painted to fade.
Okay.
Yep. And again, this is the Bryn building. The whole building. It takes up a whole.
Side of it. But look, it's fading where the sun hits. It's not as faded here.
Well, that's because the sun's not shining on it
Right.
right now.
Right on.
Go see what this little plaque says about it.
Murals of Terrell. Murals of Terrell. Terrell was a great circus town, and the railroads made it easy for the circus to come to town. The population of the town would double on Circus Day. 1893 was a year of great financial panic. So the Sells Brothers Circus, one of the 2 largest circuses in the country at that time, cut their admission to 50 cents a person, and people just flooded in. At the time of the parade, prior to the circus, there were an estimated 10,000 persons packed on Moore Street between Francis and Virginia Streets. That's like 2 blocks. On the side streets and at the railroad depot, as the poster shows, Buffalo Bill's Wild West show came to Terrell with the circus. Oh, that's interesting.
Historical information on this mural was obtained largely from the book Captain Terrell's Town, written by Horace Flatt.
Nice.
Okay, and this building across the street from this cool mural is the Times Star building. It was the first newspaper in Terrell. I suspect it may have been one of the first in Kaufman County. And Star Times was established in 1895. Yes. The size of that door. That's got to be a 12-foot, 15-foot door.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Now, and there's a mural on the side of the front building.
Alright, if I don't do this right, then I'm going to be on the bad side of my wife. So y'all bear with me and pray for me. But while you're doing that, don't forget, share us with your friends, like us if you like us if you don't, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. God bless.